Hi, you guys. It is me, Eve, your hostess with the mostest, your goddess of the evening. Today, we are joining us again at the gardens, and we're going to be talking about this year's Chinese zodiac, the fire horse. So, if you found our channel, you are clicking here because you are interested in learning more about the fire horse. Now, I know last year was the year of the snake. It was very chaotic, lots of secrets coming into the open, manipulation was happening a lot. And if you wanted this year to be about peace, patience, and slow growth, because you needed a break from last year, unfortunately, I have to tell you, you are not looking at the context clues. That's not happening. This is not the year for slow growth. The fire horse energy isn't knocking politely. It is not calming and definitely not giving you the vibes for let's kick back and relax type atmosphere. No, this energy is ready to kick in the door and ask, oh, why are you still sitting on the couch anyway? So let's talk about what the fire horse actually means and represents. Now, in the Chinese zodiac, the fire horse, or the horse, is all about freedom, motion, charisma, and independence. Imagine that one friend who refuses to be controlled. You may find this energy in those friends who were born 2014, 2002, 1990, 1978, 1954. I think that's as far as we're doing. And it goes back 12 years every time, okay? Now, when you add the element fire, you are suddenly looking at your friend who is on a motorcycle going 90 and yelling, catch up or move the hell out of the way. Now, the fire horse energy is loud. In case you're wondering, loud. It is very fast. It is passionate and slightly chaotic. It is also highly allergic to bullshit. So we're not doing any of that this year. This is not the energy that is going to wait for approval or permission. This energy says, I am already up. I've decided. I'm ready to go. So keep up or again, move on. Okay. Let's talk about global level type energy, what this looks like. The governments are going to be feeling it this year, which might be for this. So the fire horse years historically are not very good as far as government is concerned. We'll give you some examples. So you have revolutions, there are border transfers, there are power shifts. For example, we have the Mexican-American War that happened from 1846 to 1848. This was a massive territorial expansion for the United States. There was power imbalance. It really helped to shape the geopolitics of today. It moved the borders of Mexico. U.S. annexation and the expansion of ideology manifest destiny. That's good for us. Aggressive forward movements and morale justifications for conquest. They were definitely doing things they weren't supposed to and then using, it's for the people as a mindset. I'm going to be attaching a link here just in case you history buffs are interested in learning what the U.S.-Mexican War was really about and some information from then. From our lovely PBS. Next, we're going to talk about major governmental and structural events that happened. San Francisco had earthquakes. Okay, I know you guys have been noticing our climate has not been doing what it's supposed to. Back in 1906, there was a massive failure of infrastructure and emergency governance. There was also corruption happening in the city planning and insurance systems, and they were all called out during this time. I'm also attaching a link for this one. This is the Great 1906 San Francisco earthquake. And then during this time, we also had labor movements gaining traction globally, workers demanding rights, governments forced to respond to the unrest due to all of the marches and protests that were occurring. There was a rise of progressive reforms in the US and Europe. Anti-corruption laws were being put in place. Regulatory bodies were strengthened, so regulating how things were happening when it comes to the community, all of these stuff. I'm attaching another link. Prevention of Corruption Act in 1906. These are just examples of what I'm talking about when I say that they had a lot of things that were getting handled when it came to the government. But that's not all. I'm going to give you another big thing that happened during one of these fire horse revolutions. These have been some of the most volatile years in modern history when it comes to reform and transition. The Cultural Revolution began in 1996 for China. The youth mobilized against authority. Intellectuals, officials, and traditions were attacked. Government intentionally unleashed chaos to regain control, which did not work. I'm going to drop a link to this below, so feel free to check it out. Now, on the U.S. front, the civil rights movement was actually peaking around this time. They were having multiple wars on different levels happening. You had the war on poverty. The Vietnam War was escalating. Mass protests against the government authority was happening. There was a lot of assassinations happening before and after. You had JFK, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X. All of those assassinations were happening around this time. Now, this is all going from across the board from 1846, 1906, and 1966 that we're seeing this repeated theme. The theme is the government is losing the narrative control. People no longer accept official explanations. Alternative ideologies are rising very quickly. The government is using speed over stability. Decisions are being made rapidly. Long-term consequences are being ignored. There's a lot of mass mobilization from the youth, the workers, civilians rising up. There are a lot of protests, a lot of revolutions happening. Wars are being ignited on multiple fronts. And then there's structural collapse. This is all leading to a reform, though. The old systems are going to fall. New frameworks are forced into existence. And also we have charismatic and volatile leadership happening around this time. Leaders are acting very impulsively. Strong personalities are dominating governance. Corrupt leadership is showcasing itself. Slow systems. People in power are pretending that everything is fine. I'm not sure if you're seeing the pattern here, but it's definitely happening around our time as well. Now, the energy exposes a lot of cracks very loudly. You can expect this year a lot of political drama, the kind that you cannot ignore. People pushing back harder than usual against this, dictator overpowering energy. Institutions are scrambling because they believe that people are without the power, but they are mistaken, and people are going to show just how much power they truly have during this time. The fire horse energy doesn't respect titles. It respects truth and momentum. If the system is not working this year, it's not going to reform it gently. It's going to drag it out into the light and say, explain yourself. Okay, enough about politics. The Year of the Horse is not just about the government and how volatile it is. Instead, let's talk about economy and society. Time to choose a side? Maybe. Financially, slightly volatile, but also full of opportunity if you're paying attention. This is a year where old models and ways of making money are starting to get a little dusty. We have new tech, new ideas are popping off so fast. Some are fads, of course, but some have long-standing stability and are being started right now. So, great time to invest. Also, risk takers are going to win big or they're going to learn quickly. There is no middle ground, unfortunately. Sorry. Now, innovation is moving faster than the permission slips at this time, so we are definitely going to have people who are doing things that are kind of underground, but are going to be made more legit and more profitable once they go legit. If you have some idea, some projects, some investments that you are sitting on currently, now is the time. If you're waiting for someone to be like, it's the right time, it's the right time. Now, as far as your personal life is concerned, now this is where it gets really interesting. I'm going to do it in general, personal life for everybody. But if you are wanting to look at something that's going to be more specified to your Chinese zodiac this year, check out this next video that I'm posting. That is going to have all that information just for you. Okay? Now, this year is absolutely about everything being exposed. So, where you are stuck will be exposed. Where you are bored will be exposed. Where you are lying to yourself, exposure. There are pretenses that you have been holding on to, and it is about to be into light. Where you are staying out of habit and not really out of purpose, that's also coming to an end. The fire horse energy says if you don't move, if it doesn't move you, it's got to go. I will help you make it go. Now, this includes jobs, relationships, routines, beliefs. Nothing is going to be stagnant in this year. If you are going to survive, you're going to have to move. If it's going to survive in your life, it's going to have to fight for its place. You are going to feel the urge to cut some corners this year. I'm encouraging you to not. You are going to feel the need to quit impulsively. I'm going to say pause before you do this. Think about what you want to do and where you're trying to go, and then go and do what you want to do. You're going to want to speak your truth, and very loudly at that. I'm going to say that's a good idea, but just don't do it through text at 2 a.m. Probably not the best thinking time for anyone, you know? The lessons that we're learning for the year of the fire horse is it's not chaos. The lesson is alignment. It is momentum. It is purpose. Now the shadow side. Let's be real. The fire horse energy can be a little impulsive, right? Ego-driven, problematic. Slightly burnt out inducing. It's giving, let's start an argument for no reason. Now, just because you can go fast doesn't mean you should crash on purpose. So, ground yourself. Go outside, touch some grass. Really, go outside. Drink some water, do some exercise, and, breathe before you react. Fire is very powerful when it is in a controlled environment. You can use it so that it works for you. When you let it run freely, it will burn everything down. Everything. Okay? Now, spiritually speaking, this year is a mirror. Fire horse years tend to be very fast, but also very karmic. So it's all about karmic rewards coming at you really quickly. Lots of self-serving retributions are going to be happening around this time. So ask yourself, what have you been avoiding? Yeah, it's going to catch up to you this year. Good, bad, and different. Also, maybe ask, what are you most aligned with in your life and your goals? Karma is about attracting that energy you're putting out. That means also quick wins, fast manifestations, immediate feedback. This year does not tolerate self-betrayal, lying, pretending. You either move in truth or you get pushed by the consequences. But again, deep breaths, no pressure. You got this, okay? Okay. Now here's how you can ride this energy without wrecking your life. The cheat code is to move boldly. Say it loud, say it proud, stand on business. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. Believe in yourself, okay? Next, stay grounded. Impulsive mindsets will be at work. And if you are one that tends to do things before you think, this is not the time to do all of those things. Take time to ground yourself in reality. Look at long term and then do your thing. Act with intention. This speaks for itself, but really go about your choices with thought behind your actions. Why are you doing these things? Where is it going to get you at the end of the day? All of this is forethought that you should be putting into motion. Don't confuse urgency with recklessness. Some things should get done right now, but not without tact, not without first thinking of your end goals. I'm not saying don't do them. Only you can decide what is going to be best for you. I am saying do it with the idea of what the outcome will be and if it's going to work out for you. Well, the fire horse is not here to mess around and not here to coddle you, I promise you that. It is here to wake you up. It's here to light a fire under your ass and to see if you're brave enough to move with it or get left behind. If you would like to see your specific zodiac and how it will affect you all differently, like I said before, check out these videos. Also, don't forget to check the links below because they are all going to be kind of attached to some of the things that we talked about today. It may help you in understanding what this new year is going to be about. Thank you guys for joining me here at the Gardens, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. This year, it's not going to wait for anyone, not even you.